Hey y'all, and welcome back to another episode of I Wish a Mother Would. Now, I'm super, can I say super again? Excited about today's guest. We went through heck and high water to get her here because she's a busy woman, honey. I have Sunshine, the hood unicorn, with me.
Hey, friend. How you doing?
Yes. What's up? So today we're going to talk about parenting styles. But I'm going to start off a little bit different today because I want to educate real quick. And then we will get into all of our segments because my new segment has something to do with parenting styles and everything else we're doing it has something to do with it. So I'm going to tell you about the 4 parenting styles. These are traditional parenting styles that came out in the 60s. And they were devised by a psychologist named Diana Baumrind, okay? So she came up with actually 3 parenting styles, and then a 4th one was added in 1983, the year I was born, darling. Ooh, did I tell y'all something? Ooh. Okay, so the 4 parenting styles were permissive. So permissive parenting style is very child-driven. You really rarely give or enforce rules. You overindulge the child, and you're avoiding conflict a lot, okay? So that's permissive. Authoritative is when you solve problems together with your child. You set clear rules and expectations. You have open communication, and there are natural consequences to different behaviors. Then you have authoritarian. So you have authoritative. That's the first one we just did. Now you have authoritarian. Authoritarian is very parent-driven. You have strict rules and punishments. There's one-way communication. It's the because I said so type. And it's very little consideration about the child's social, emotional, and behavioral needs, okay? And then your last one was the one that was added in 83, which I guess a lot of things were going on around 83. It's called neglectful, but they interchangeably use neglectful and uninvolved. I think uninvolved is, okay. Anyway, so basically you're a little bit uninvolved, a little bit absent. You know, we were all mostly a lot of latchkey kids around the 80s, yeah? Provides little nurturance or guidance. You're indifferent to the child's social, emotional, and behavioral needs, okay? So we're going to get into how those relate to us a little bit later. But before we do that, let's get into this news story.
It's the sound effects for me.
It's the sound effects for me. So, okay, here's my news story for the day. So there's a couple on the way to Tel Aviv, from Tel Aviv to Brussels. So this is a foreign story. And they selected Ryanair flights for their commute, though they did not buy a ticket for their young child, okay? They followed the same principle as on other transport where the seat for a child or baby is often free. I think their child was like right at that 2 mark, maybe a little bit younger. So while it does differ depending on the airline you travel, the rules are similar in most cases. In India, an infant is defined as a child that has not yet celebrated their 2nd birthday. According to Air India guidelines, an infant may be charged a fee equal to 10% of a basic fee for an adult. So while you don't have a 2-year-old, usually, you know, if the child is not 2, you don't have to pay. But for them, their child was not 2, but this particular airline charges a fee of up to 10%. Hence, it is clearly not free. So the couple tried their chances as they attempted to board the plane with the baby. And they did not have a ticket. So when they were stopped, the parents with a Belgian passport refused to pay for a ticket. And the couple walked past the passport control with their baby in a stroller and left the stroller and the child. They did not see the need to pay for the baby, and so they attempted to board the flight without their baby. But the airport staff noticed their scheme in time and alerted the police. The police found the guilty couple and took them into custody for questioning. The manager of the Ryanair desk shared that everyone in sight was shell-shocked after realizing what the... It's a big case of them kids.
You know, I was thinking real Home Alone-ish. Like, this sounds like some Kevin McAllister's mom type stuff.
If them kids was a person.
No, don't put that on my people who claim that, because You can only say F them kids if you love them and you do right by them. You
Facts.
can't say F them kids if you leave them.
Leave them.
For who?
Under
Who?
2 years old.
Who did she leave the
They
baby
was like, I'm going on vacation. They just left her at the gate. They left
for
the
who
baby.
to pick up? Did she have a baby?
They
Uber?
figured, you know how you leave a baby on the steps for the fire department.
I don't. They doing something different out in
They doing
Belgium.
something
'Cause
real different. They wanted to go on that vacation.
I just knew you weren't
Big
about
bag.
to say that lady was about to leave the baby. I thought you was about to say something like she tried to hide the baby
No.
underneath her shirt or pretend she was pregnant again.
No,
I just knew
that
you
would have been a
wasn't.
good idea though. Just put the baby in there.
Shh, shh. You know I'm pregnant. You know what I'm saying? But
That probably would have been the best shit.
Yeah.
No, they left the kid.
you left the kid.
They left the kid. What kind of parenting style is that? That would be the neglectful. Yeah.
That would be. They need to add that to the 2023. That's a 2023 ad. Yeah,
Yes,
I
honey.
know what it is.
Mm.
That's Christian
don't
teacher.
do that. Don't do that.
Okay, never mind.
Don't do
I'm
that.
sorry. I didn't do that. I ain't do that. I ain't say that.
Don't
I ain't say that.
that. Okay, let's play a game.
Okay. I didn't do that.
All right, so we're gonna do parenting style mothers from TV. Okay, so I'm gonna show you the mother,
Okay.
and you're gonna give me the parenting style. So remember, we have neglectful, we have authoritative, authoritarian. Which means it's because I said so, and then we have one more.
The last one where you just
Permissive.
don't care. Yeah, you don't
Permissive.
care.
You
don't
let
care
them. You
nothing
let
about
them
it.
do what they want to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
All right. So here we go. So these are TV or movie mothers. Let's see. Let's show the friends. This is. Oh, you see that wire hanger in her hand, right?
Okay, so look.
No
I
wire.
never watched the movie.
Oh.
But I know enough about it to know that that's definitely authoritative. Authoritative. Y'all know I got a fat tongue.
Tyrion.
It's the second one.
Tyrion.
Mhm.
Yes.
It's the second one.
No wire hangers.
That lady was mean.
Okay, we got the girl, the mom from Mean Girls. She's giving the girls cocktails, and she's like, "I'm your bestie."
That's the one that want to be your friend. That's the promiscuous one.
Permissive.
That's what I said.
Yeah,
Because if you be permissive long enough with your kids, they
They're
will
gonna
be promiscuous.
Yes, they will.
That was my mama growing up.
Yes, this is all of our moms.
That's
America's mom.
That was America's mom. That was my mama growing up. Okay, I promise you, when she hit with that, oh, you wanted to go have fun with the wretched. I sat up straight. I would never, Mom. She went on her own. No, you know what? The beautiful thing about the Cosby Show that I absolutely love was that they taught their kids. You know what I mean? They had conversations with their kids. It was never a do as I say
Because I said
I said so. And they definitely knew their kids' name. Their not their kids' names, but their kids' friends' names. They were involved in their lives. So I would definitely say that was the first authoritative. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like
And
principal and principal.
last but not least, Miss Peggy Bundy.
If you promiscuous, your kids will be permissive. Yeah.
I feel like she's neglect. Because do you remember her ever parenting? I mean, like,
I mean, she really was kind of like she just wanted to hang out.
she pranced around the house.
Yeah, but you know what? In her defense, her kids was kind of grown.
They were.
Like they was at the point where, I mean, if you can't go in there and warm yourself up some spaghetti, you know, she really was at that point where she was ready to be about her husband.
I need to
again.
go back and like look at the first episode of Married with Children and see, because they had to be a little bit younger at some point, but you're right, they were pretty teenage.
They were pretty much
from the beginning. I just don't ever remember her parenting. I remember Al.
Only thing I remember her doing was being in the kitchen, like cooking,
Like with her bonbons in the hair. All right, so that is the motherhood game. Yes.
That's a mother.
That's a mother, honey.
Mother.
Well, let's get into you, okay?
Okay,
Let's get into Miss Sunshine.
Okay.
So, what parenting style do you most identify with, and what parenting style did you grow up with? Because I know there's a contrast there.
Okay, so let me start by saying what I grew up with. I definitely grew up with more of a authoritarian style, with a little bit of the permissive.
Okay.
But I don't think my mom was permissive on purpose. It was by design. You know what I mean? She's a single mom. She had to work, long hours. My mom worked in the transit system, so she drove the trains. You know what I mean? So these aren't, 5-hour shifts. These are 12, 13-hour shifts. And then you have to come home and really get that rest because it's very much a job that you could kill somebody.
Right.
You know what I mean? You run over the wrong person and it's a wrap. You know what I mean? So I don't think my mom tried to have the style of parenting that she did. It just was the card she was dealt with,
Right.
And as you become a parent and you become older and you really get a chance to look back at your childhood, I think we give them more grace. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, because it's hard.
It is. And I mean, if you've never looked at your birth certificate, I looked at mine and realized my mom had me when she was like 22 and my dad was maybe 24. I had my first child at 29 and I know I didn't know enough.
Right.
I couldn't imagine being 22, still in college, trying to get your master's. And shout out to my mom. She still graduated. She still walked with, and I'm in the pictures on her,
Love it.
you know what I'm saying, on her hip. So I don't know. I don't blame her for would I have wanted Claire? Definitely.
Right.
Was she able to give me that? Not necessarily.
Right.
I think because of that, I'm more conscious of my parenting style. I'm very much the type of person that is raising my children to be functional, good parts of society. You know what I mean? Like, I don't just want you to be in society and give something back to society, but I want you to be good. We don't use words like character and honor,
But they're the important foundations.
So very important.
Our children, yeah.
You know what I mean? If you don't have any character, if you don't have any sense of self, then anybody can say and do anything. And when you look at social media, when you look at the propaganda from news or anything else going on, if your person, whomever that is, child or spouse or whatever, if they don't have a real good sense of self and who they are, whether they got it from parenting or lack of parenting, then anybody can tell them who they are and what life should be for them.
Facts on facts. And let me in that disclaimer that there's no right way to parent, okay? This is not an attack on anybody's motherhood, fatherhood, or hood.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is just an open dialogue about parenting styles, how they differ, because at any given moment, we could be any of the four, okay? We can be any of the four at any given moment. Excuse me. So with that, you think right now, what is your current parenting style?
I think I'm more of the authoritarian.
Ooh, authoritarian?
Authoritative?
Tative.
Tative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a tater. I'm the tater. I'm the tater.
I was like, I don't see that, but okay.
But I think there's something in there that's missing that I am. And it would be like whatever the opposite of a helicopter parent is. Like, I want you to fail. I don't want to prevent my kids from experiencing life on both sides. I want them to experience the duality of it. So in some ways, I am a little hands off.
So that excuse me, in the 2000s, they came up with some new parenting styles. There's like 9 of them.
Okay.
And that's part of one of the new parenting styles that go with millennial age groups. And I think that's called a free range parent.
Yeah, it sounds like chickens, but yeah, that gives me. I don't know why they give me chickens, but yeah, I think that would be more along my range. And I'll give you a perfect example. I was talking to my son last night, and we were talking about his grades, and I was just saying, I need you to go to the teacher and ask the teacher, what are you missing, so that you can do whatever it is you're supposed to be doing, right? And I told him, I let him know, I said, I know I can go to your teacher and call your teacher and ask them for the work. But if I do it it doesn't teach you how to talk to authority figures, how to advocate for yourself. You know what I mean?
So they can be
So
self-sufficient.
that you can be self-sufficient. Because when you get in high school or when you get in college, I can't come up to every class and be like, why is this grade wrong? Or why didn't you mark me present for this day? Or whatever comes up that you need to go and advocate for yourself.
And then when you're at work, you can't do that for him either.
Same thing.
When he starts working a job.
You've got to be able to advocate for
My
yourself.
mom's coming up here to take care of that.
Exactly. Or my wife.
Ooh.
So I touched one, didn't I?
You did touch it. You touched it.
So in those senses, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not going to let him fail the class, and I'm going to step in when I need to.
Yeah.
But when you come home, so did you talk to the teacher? Do you know what work is missing? Okay, let's go ahead and do that. And I think part of the reason why some of the kids are the way they are now is because so many parents did everything for their kids. They never were allowed to fail. They were never allowed to experience any kind of turmoil or, you know, if you didn't win this time, that gives you something to try harder for the next time.
Allow
you know
them
what I
to
mean?
fail with, what's safely reasonable, right?
Right.
And with that, I love that when I first met you, not even when I first met you, but a couple of years after I met you, your son, you were teaching him about taxes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's no perfect time to teach
how
him.
you taught him about taxes.
Okay, so with my son, he was maybe about 2-3 years old, right when he started walking, and it was just a little funny gag, but I've always believed that you're as old of a parent as your kids are, right? And so I've never taught anybody from birth before.
Right.
So this was my first, how can I teach somebody something? How do I teach a kid about taxes? Every time my kid would ask me to come open up his snacks or candy or whatever, I would open it up and I'd immediately take a bite.
We all do it.
And he'd be like, it's mine. And I'd be like, yeah, but guess what? The government always gets theirs first. You want good roads? The government gonna take it. They're gonna take a little bit of something from you first. You know what I'm saying? Like when you get a job, the government gonna take that FICA first. My son don't know what I'm talking about, but he understood that you get taxed. The way I knew he knew it was right, as soon as he had a little sister and she was like, open this, he opened it and took a bite and was like, you got to get taxed.
You learned it. You learned it.
Hey, way to listen to your mama.
That's my boy.
That's my boy. Way to listen to your mama. So my kids understand taxes already. So when they get that first job, they're not going to be mad when they see FICA took her, 20% or whatever. They going to know.
She got taxed.
They come off, they get theirs first.
So let's get into being a cannabis advocate, because you're a canna mom. Yeah.
Yes, I am.
How does that affect your mode of operation as like a parent and your day to day?
Well, of course, I try very hard to separate my kids out of my videos and different things like that, just because I feel like this is me. This is nobody else. This is me and my own whatevers, but I kind of feel like if somebody was a hater or something like that, they might try to, get the government in trouble with me just because, I feel as though there's a lot of taboo when it comes to cannabis. There's a lot of propaganda, a lot of reefer madness, a lot of misinformation.
It's all based on the government
Right.
trying to get their taxes anyway.
Trying to get their taxes and get their money and the war on drugs and everything like that. But I think where most of it really comes in is just fear. You know what I mean? There are so many different parts of this plant that are healing and amazing, that I don't understand why people are so vehemently, I said that word.
Yeah, you did it.
Yeah, I did it.
You did it.
Against this plant, that's no different from oregano or, parsley or whatever. It just so happens that it has extra properties to it. And I try to make sure people know just certain things. One, you have a complete cannabinoid system in your body. Okay? So
school me.
Right. So I always hit the Christians with this one. you feel like God never made a mistake. God didn't do nothing wrong. Well, he made that plant. And not only did he make that plant, but he made a complete system in your body to accept that plant. And if you're a woman, he also made it so your body produces properties of that plant. Mothers that breastfeed, when you breastfeed, your body automatically produces a cannabinoid so that the baby becomes hungry and continues to eat.
Oh.
Message.
Oh, didn't know that.
Okay.
The more you know, the more
you know. And then not only that, just so many parts of this plant that are so medicinal. Look, y'all don't know her as Google, but I know her as Google. Okay. You can ask Shanequa anything. So a long time ago, I used to have a business where I made topicals and lotions and stuff like that. And she gave me this great place, this apothecary, right? I'm saying that right? Close. To go to and to look at the products that they have. And they sold pure hemp butter. Do you know what I was able to do with that? With hemp butter and a couple of other ingredients. I'm not going to tell y'all my recipe. But I was able to make a really good eczema cream. Why? Because cannabis, or the derivative of the cannabis plant, hemp, is really good to reduce inflammation. What is eczema?
Inflammation.
You know what I mean? And it's like, we're so against it because if you ingest it, if you just so happen to light it on fire, you giggle a little bit and you eat all of the Cheetos.
Not the Cheetos.
You know what I mean? But there's so many parts of this plant. And no, I don't think it's for children. I don't want to advertise it to kids. But, y'all consume liquor. Y'all don't advertise. Well, y'all do. But y'all don't advertise that to kids.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's so many other things out here. And we got this hard on for cannabis that doesn't make sense to me.
Gotcha.
It just doesn't.
Look, I'm going to turn the corner a little bit.
Okay.
So if we were in the streets at the apothecary store.
At the apothecary.
Or we were in a local Target or something. And your children got lost.
Oh.
What would they be doing?
Okay. If my kids got lost, the first thing they probably gonna yell out real loud is Marco, and I'm gonna yell back Paulo, and then we gonna walk around trying to find each other. If I'm looking for them, I'm probably gonna yell out Marco, and they gonna yell back Polo. And it's because I don't like yelling my kid's name out in public. Plus, that whole lost kid thing, it run twofold.
Yeah.
Because now somebody know your kids is lost too.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, And then sometimes it's not even a matter of them being lost. Like, I posted something about it on TikTok and I got a lot. I got a lot of comments back. And some people were like, well, you should have your kids with you at all times. Yeah, my kids... My kids are 9 going on 31 and 12 going on 13.
Yeah.
And I don't keep them next to me when we go to the park. They go run and have fun.
Right.
You know what I mean? But when it's time to go, I might not want to ski week or whatever it is that they do these days. Marco. And they come running in Polo. And so another thing somebody said was... If I hear you yell Marco Polo, I'm going to yell it too. And then you're not going to know where your kid's at. Baby, I know what my kids sound like.
Exactly. And I'll add to that, because I used to do custom shirts and stuff like that. So I used to do a lot of stuff with kids' names on it. And so for birthdays, that may be okay. But I will say I err on the side of caution when it comes to putting your kids' names on your backpacks.
That's a no-no.
Putting their kids' names on just stuff that they're wearing every day when they're not with you. Because easily they're like, hey, Joey, your mom told me to come and get you. And
what's
Joey's
the password?
Right. Oh, we got a password too.
What's the password?
Okay, tell them about the password.
Okay.
Yes.
So, and I just want to say this. Shout out to the Wahite ladies out there. I got a lot of this stuff from... our Caucasian cousins because they brought it up. But, I try to just make stuff work for my hood. So,
What he
Is this camera on me? Shout out to y'all know who y'all are. Y'all taught me that. I love y'all for that. But you know, a lot of this stuff, I saw them saying that, and I just made it work for me and my neighborhood and who I am. You know what I'm saying? So if something happens, first of all, my kids know if they not related to us, they probably not picking us up. Walk home. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Walk home. Walk home. You know where the key at. Walk home. But if somebody come and they like, your mom and dad had an issue or whatever, they told us we had to come get you. We gonna take them to you. What's the password?
What's the password?
And for us, the password is something that everybody in our family would immediately know. It's not an issue or what. I'm not about to tell y'all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I switch my password after it gets used though.
Oh, that's a good
because there has been an instance where the kids did have to get picked up by one of my girlfriends, but even though she's my girlfriend, she still needs the password. Right? Because we don't want no messed up translation.
But now she knows the password, so now you got to change it. Oh, boysenberries.
Boysenberries.
Oh, okay. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Now, what if somebody... Right. Now, what if somebody strange does try to abduct your child? What are they going to do then?
Okay, so stranger danger. Okay. First of all, stranger danger, let me say this. When I tell y'all what I do, one, I am a geriatric millennial, meaning...
Stop. Go ahead. Geriatric millennial.
I'll be 41 in a couple of days, okay? So when I say what I'm saying, it might not relate to you. But when I was a little young, hot and thottin', everybody used to scream this, right? But I taught my kids to yell world star and to cuss and to say every dirty cuss word that you've ever heard mommy say. I want my kids, I move this back just a little bit, but if somebody, world star, I don't know this. Oh! I want my kids to say, and when I posted this and said it, everybody was like, no, my mom taught me to yell fire. And I get it. But see, this is the thing. If you yell world star, what's the first thing most people...
Pulling out their phones,
they're going to pull out their phone.
Yeah.
And see, that's the trigger. A lot of people don't help little black kids. And we've seen it on the TikTok skits and stuff where it's a kid sitting there crying or people walk past them or whatever. Or I've even seen skits where people literally abduct a kid in front of a person and that person just walk on by their way. Okay? But if you see a commotion, if you hear this tiny little voice saying the nastiest of words you've ever heard in your life, there's something you're going to do. You're going to record. And if you record, I promise you, somebody's going to post it to TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, World Star, something. And if I can at least see the van, the color person that was taking you, the hat that they had on, which direction they went in, what street you were on, something, mommy can get you back.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Now to add to that cussing, I want you to defecate on yourself. I want you to scratch, spit. If you got to sing, Jesus loves me, yes he does. Do whatever you got to do. Okay, ask them for crab legs and sushi like you do me. Whatever it is you need to do, just get back home to mommy. I want you.
Love you.
I love you. I want you. You my baby.
Lord have mercy. Okay, I'm sure our time is probably 5,000 hours over. But to end it off, do you ever experience mom guilt? Because you're a super mom. Like, I love the way you parent. I love your free range, but I also love how you really are intentional about the lessons that you teach your kids. And I've always admired that about you. I love you. Oh,
thank you.
Anyway, do you ever experience mom guilt?
Right now.
I do. Yes.
Right now.
Me too.
I feel as though I was a late bloomer.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize my passion and my purpose until after I had my children, and I believe my children probably helped me get there, you know. I was a hairstylist by trade. I thought I was going to spend my time behind the chair, but it didn't turn out like that. And now I'm in media, or I'm in some sort of entertainment, right? And we know that in this particular field, you have to be out there. You have to meet people. Networking is your best working, you know? And I gotta go pick my kid up from school at 2:30. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I and then my other kid gotta get picked up at 4.
Right.
I've got so many other things so that I can be that good mom. And you only have but so much time.
Yeah.
And so I feel like if maybe I would have been doing this before I had kids, I could be a little bit further.
Right.
And I wouldn't feel so guilty when, mom got to go to this event tonight.
Right.
Or, the worst is, mommy, where you going? You look pretty. Can I go?
Oh.
No. No, you can't go.
You can't
but I would
go.
love it if you can.
Right.
And the events that I have been able to take my kids to,
they light up, yeah.
Oh, that's the best.
Because you're like coolest mom ever.
Right. My daughter, she comes into the radio station, and some people put her on the radio, and I'm just sitting there like, oh, y'all are feeding into this. But, I've said this to you. I never have wanted to be Beyonce, but I would love to be Tina. I'd love to be Tina. I don't necessarily want to be the star, but to create the star, to be the person that the star comes to and asks for advice and leans on.
Yeah.
I think that's the role I would want, because I still want to go to the grocery store.
I don't know. I mean, people. First of all, we didn't introduce you as the Hood Unicorn. We introduced you as Sunshine, but she was AKA the Hood Unicorn. So I wore my unicorn earrings today for her.
I like them. I'm gonna steal them.
You ain't gonna have them. They're mine.
Man, them is cute. And I noticed them immediately. I was like, oh, okay, earrings.
I did for you.
So speaking of gifts and earrings and stuff, because she's the best gift giver ever. Okay, I've got really great stuff from her from my birthdays. You already know I have a radio show.
Yes.
It's called All Hustle, No Fear. I'm on the Hits 92.3 platform every morning from 8 to 10.
Yeah.
It is more for the adults. Don't let your kids listen to this show.
After dark radio in the morning, yes.
A gram. With that being said, here is a All Hustle, No Fear toothbrush so you can keep my name in your mouth.
Ooh, stop it.
I mean, the first thing you do in the morning is brush your teeth anyway, so you might as well put me in your mouth.
Oh, my goodness. This is too many levels to this. I cannot. Okay. Love this girl. I want to thank you so much. Do you have anything going on coming up in the future?
I mean, my birthday coming up, and I'm gonna have an extravaganza.
Extravaganza.
It's gonna be a vibe. But other than that, I'm always looking to network with people. Always looking to bring new people on my show. I want you to come on my show so bad, but she said
I've been on your show, but I'll come again.
She said her brand. I want her. But yeah, she got the kids.
Tell the people where they can find you, girl.
But I love it. You can always find me on all social media platforms, unless I'm shadow banned, at allhustlenofear.com. And you can, if you want to get to know more about me, you can visit at All Hustle No Fear on all social media platforms.
Yeah.
But if you want to know more about me, you can go to allhustlenofear.com.
Yeah.
And I'm always in the hood. That's why they call me the Hood Unicorn.
In your mouth. And in your mouth.
And in your mouth. There it is.
All right. Thank you so much, Sunshine. Love you.
You gotta lean over.
Lean over. Get a church hug.
Hey.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you next time. Hey, y'all, and welcome back to a Help a Mother Out craft. So today's craft is so fast, you'll probably blink and it'll be over, okay? This craft is really, really fun, and it's more of a process than it is a craft. It's painting, but this is painting with mommy and me. So what you do for this process is you would literally take out some watercolors and paintbrushes with your child, and then you would start to paint one part of the picture and then allow them to join in and paint the next part of the picture. So if I were to get started with this, for me, and I'm using my little water right here, these are watercolors, I would start off maybe with a blue sky, right? So I'm starting with the blue sky, and it's nothing fancy. And then I would let my child, and I wouldn't tell my child that this is a blue sky, I would just put blue up here. Because for them, it might not be a sky. For them, it might be an invitation to create a flag, or it might be an invitation to create something else. So I'm just putting blue at the top. And then my child would follow behind me after I did this small little part. They would choose what color they wanted to use, and they would add something else, okay? Knowing my son, I would do this with my son. He's 6. Knowing my son, he'd probably come in and draw a rainbow friend, okay? And his favorite rainbow friend is blue, so I'm going to use a different rainbow friend, and I think I know what he looks like. I think it's orange. He looks like a stick figure, okay? This is rainbow friend, orange. And I would probably have no clue what he just drew, okay? But it doesn't matter because then I would go in and then add in my portion, right? And then we would keep building and building and building until we had a complete picture. And that is a mommy and me craft that doesn't take much, but means so much to your kids. I implore you to try it at home. And if you do give it a try, make sure you hashtag I Wish a Mother Would Podcast or Help a Mother Out and tag Dasher Creations. See you guys next time in our next craft segment. And welcome to the Help a Mother Out cooking segment with Coach Chef Kim. Hey, girl, hey.
Hey.
So what are we creating today?
Okay, so today we're going to do a really fun, really delicious, really quick Kids in the Kitchen craft.
Okay.
All right, so this is so simple. It's going to happen so fast. Don't blink.
All
right. So, you know how like when you go to like those really over-the-top kids' birthday parties?
Yes.
And they've got like chocolate covered everything, pretzels and strawberries and all the things?
Yes.
Okay, you're going to learn how to do that.
Okay.
Okay, great. So we're going to use little pretzels, but you can literally use any type of pretzel that you want. It does not matter.
Okay.
If you're using longer pretzels, use a taller cup so that when you stick it in there, it covers more of your pretzel.
Oh.
That makes sense? So like the long rods, you're going to use a larger cup. So you literally take it, you dip it in. Now, depending on how much chocolate you want on there, you can do like this much. You can do the whole thing. It doesn't really matter. And then we set it down, right?
Okay.
And then immediately put sprinkles on it if you're going to put sprinkles on it.
Oh, because that helps it like set in.
Yep. It's got to set while the chocolate is still wet.
Perfect.
Oh, did I do it? You did.
Okay, immediately.
Put it on there. Now, if you're me, you dip like 5 at a time, and then you come back and sprinkle them.
Ah.
But like, if you're doing this with kids, they don't know.
They're
gonna want to make a mess. So if you want to like cover most of it, then take it out. I also recommend tapping it on the side. That
pull it at an angle so you can get more.
Yes. Then that way it'll lay flat. So if you know that you're gonna use this as like a party setup, then you want to make sure you take off some of that excess chocolate, because if you don't, it's not going to lay flat.
Okay, and it won't. Will it dry? Well, it'll dry, but
it'll still dry. It's just going to take a little bit longer.
Because I dipped that whole thing right there.
It's okay, though.
Shake it, shake it, shake it.
Sometimes you want to dip the whole thing.
Shake it, shake it, shake it.
Now, another reason you would want to do this, Christmas is coming up. And one of my favorite things to do is to dip pretzels in chocolate, and then you can serve it with hot cocoa.
With hot cocoa. Love it, I love it.
Or you can make it a stir. If your kid likes pretzels, then you can use the rods and use it as a stir in their cocoa. You could also do this with marshmallows.
And put the marshmallow.
Put the marshmallow into the chocolate, add the sprinkles to it, and then your kids can use it as a stir. You can do this with peppermint. You can do candy canes.
Ooh, candy cane.
You could put the candy cane into a marshmallow, dip it in the chocolate, and then that's the stir that's going to be served for your hot cocoa.
You have a peppermint hot cocoa with a little white chocolate.
Exactly.
Tears.
I know. It's super fun. You can do as many or as little. Listen, if it's a late night snack for mom, you just want something sweet and salty.
That's a good pretzel.
Grab you some pretzels, dip it inside of your melted chocolate, and it's going to work beautifully. Now, just to give you a little note about our chocolate that we pre-melted, this is actually almond bark. There's no nuts in it.
But wait, it's called almond bark.
I understand. I don't know why they call it that.
So Kayla can use this. She's allergic to nuts.
Absolutely. This is the only allergen-free thing that I could really find because I used to do this for lots of people at one time.
Okay.
So using almond bark lets it melt really, really quickly. It can come in white chocolate or in chocolate. If you want to be extra fancy, you can get colored chocolate, put it in a piping bag, and then you can come back and go back and forth across it, zigzagging your color instead of using sprinkles. Okay,
this is maybe a weird question. Can you put food color in this, or is it better just get the colored chocolate?
You would need to do candy color.
Okay.
Because candy color is going to be oil-based, and it's not going to seize up your chocolate.
Gotcha. So don't put regular food color in chocolate and think it's going to do what it's supposed to do.
No.
Because that's something I would have done.
Yeah, and then you just have a clump of the color.
Thank you,
sitting in
Coach
your
Chef
chocolate.
Kim, because I would have messed up this Christmas and then they would have been mad.
No, yeah, don't do that. But really just buy like the color already in the store.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So tell the people where they can find you, where they can find fun recipes.
Absolutely. So you can find this recipe and more on CoachChefKim.com.
Hey, thank you guys for tuning in for another Help a Mother Out cooking segment with Coach Chef Kim. See you next time. All right, Sunshine. So share with us 3 things that mothers can do with their kids to have some mommy and me bonding time.
Okay, so one, for the moms who can't swim, like me, I love a splash pad. If you go and just Google splash pads in your neighborhood, basically, it's like a pool, but it's like the sprinkler systems. Yeah, kids have a ball, and you never have to worry about anybody drowning. That's number 1. 2, I'm a nerd. I love science. So here in Atlanta, we have Fernbank Museum, and it's the Natural History Science Museum. That sounds about right. It got dinosaurs, and then they usually trade out the exhibits all the time. So sometimes it might be some about animals or Earth or all kind of different things. You can go, I know ours, you can get like a ticket for like 100 people. I mean, for $100 for 4 people. And the pass lasts the whole year. And they do a lot of great stuff. Superhero Day for Father's Day.
And those are tax deductible as well.
Probably so.
They are,
That
because
sound
they're
about right.
nonprofits. Those museums are.
Yeah. So I love Fernbank. And then the last one, germaphobe. I am. Starlight Movie Theater. I like to drive in.
Yes.
Baby, open up the trunk, throw some pillows back there, bring a box of ribs and some macaroni and cheese. What? Y'all don't bring y'all grill out and be grilling at the...
Not the whole grill, but I do bring
okay.
my food.
Yeah.
I do bring my food.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Me and the hubby sitting up in there, and don't tell nobody I said this, but if you sit right, you could really get a twofer, because you can... Okay, I'm gonna stop.
You just drive over there. I don't have to sit right. Just drive over to the next screen.
Oh, see, I be trying to be respectful. I just park I sneak and watch. I don't actually just drive to the next screen.
Just drive to the next screen.
Oh, okay. And then just look, make your kids sit back in the back seat and have them slunched down, and they always is 7 years old. My 9-year-old, she been 7 for 2 years, and my 12-year-old been 7, and he gonna be 7, because then they free or just $1. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Thank
Make
you.
it crunch down.
Thank you for joining us on I Wish a Mother Would.